Kevin Love, K-Love, Chubby Love, whatever you want to call him, he was a beast back in the day. In fact, he used to be one of the best players in the NBA. In his prime, Kevin Love would get a 20-point, 20-rebound game night in and night out. Obviously, this was before his time in Cleveland, but the dude was a rebounding machine as well as one of the best stretched bigs in the NBA. Oftentimes, it feels like we take for granted all the good players that are leading the NBA, only to come back to them when they're at the tail ends of their careers. I feel like this was the case for Kevin Love. He broke some records that most NBA fans forgot about. But today, we're gonna shine some light on Kevin Love's amazing journey in the NBA and see if he belongs in the Basketball Hall of Fame. For the criteria of my decision making, I'm gonna do it the exact same way I explained in Rajon Rondo and Blake Griffin's Hall of Fame videos. If you're new around here, don't worry. I'll link a playlist to the series in the top right corner and in the description. But to sum it up, there are 4 sections that we'll use to see if Kevin Love should make it to Springfield or not. Firstly, it's his NBA and international resume. I think it's pretty obvious, but you can't make it to the Hall of Fame if you didn't do much. Next, I'll show you Kevin Love's individual production and statistics to see if he was stuffing the stat sheets or not. Then, we'll have a look to see the level of impact Kevin Love had at a team level. It is important to have good numbers, but team success is even more crucial in this situation. And lastly, we'll examine Kevin Love's overall legacy to see if he truly left an impact on the game of basketball. Now without further ado, let's get it started by having a look at his NBA and international resume. Kevin Love has made an impact everywhere in the NBA and even in the international scale. To start off, we'll have a look at his NBA resume. Kevin Love is a 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA second team member, the 2016 NBA champion, the 2011 Most Improved Player of the Year, rebounding champion in 2011, and the 3-point contest winner in 2012. And to round it off, he was a part of the All-Rookie second team. His international resume consists of being the 2010 FIBA World Champion gold medalist and a gold medal at the 2012 Olympics. We can clearly see how much Kevin Love has done in his time as a basketball player. He's a multi-time All-Star and All-NBA player. He was the 3rd best player on one of the best all-time championship teams. And he also has other big awards too, like the rebounding champ, a Most Improved Player of the Year, and even a 3-point contest winner. Now I know the last few may not hold much value by your standards, but his well-rounded success is what many NBA players hope to achieve but almost never do. He has all the telltale signs of being a Hall of Fame player, with all the awards that I just mentioned. Also, a weird side note, but he finished 6th in MVP voting in 2012, even though he never received the first place vote. K-Love's prime was at the start of his NBA career, as many of you can tell, and due to reoccurring injuries and lesser roles on better teams, his numbers have dwindled. Still, from 2010 to 2015, you could argue that he was a top 15 player in the league. His international resume does hold more value than what people believe. Remember, this is the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame. So having international success is very important. And what screams more success than winning a gold medal in both the Olympics and the FIBA World Championship? Kevin Love's career stats are pretty good, but if we take a look at his best season, we can clearly see how much of a monster he really was. In the 2011-2012 season, we saw Kevin Love put up 26 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, and tagging along 4.5 assists too. Not only that, but he was doing it on amazing efficiency, having a 45.7 field goal percentage and a 37.6 3-point percentage. Kevin Love's best season was good enough to earn him All-NBA second team honors as well as some MVP votes. Kevin was a consistent double-double guy and arguably the best rebounder in the league. He finished top 5 in scoring twice and top 10 in rebounds 5 times. While on the Timberwolves, he was the easy number one option and the guy who carried them. Although his game wasn't flawless, not being a great defender for starters, what he was good at, very few players could do better than him. He was dominant on offense all around when healthy, and only a handful of players were as big as he was and better. Usually, in these types of videos, I like to give a player comparison, and for Kevin Love, I would say that he reminds me of a better Chris Bosh, a stretch forward that can easily get a double-double and someone who's not at all selfish. Funny enough, I think that's why LeBron wanted Kevin Love on his team, because he saw how much success he got when working with Chris Bosh. To sum up this section, Kevin Love's best season was amazing statistically, and even his career averages are really good considering he's been a third option for more than half of his career. While this part is rather weak for Kevin Love's Hall of Fame argument, you can't really blame him because it was more of the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise's fault. For the first 6 years of his career, he played in Minnesota, where the most talented player he paired up with was Al Jefferson. Yeah, this guy. As a result, the T-Wolves never made the playoffs during Kevin Love's time there, and their best record together was just 40-42, which put them in 10th place at the West. During those 6 years, K-Love led them in win shares 5 times, only missing one because of injuries. Then, the best thing that could have happened in Kevin Love's career happened. He was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers and became instant contenders. Forming a big three with LeBron and Kyrie saw the next 4 years of Kevin Love's career being filled with playoff berths and deep runs, something he had yet to feel because of his wasted talent in Minnesota. Cleveland made the finals in the first 4 years of Kevin Love being there, winning at least 50 games every single year. However, Love's impact was not there as much as he used to, finishing third in win shares behind LeBron and Kyrie. He didn't actually lead the Cavs in any major statistical categories except for rebounds, which he did every single year. But you know what? He didn't have to, because he had the best player in the NBA and arguably a top 3 point guard too. During his time in Cleveland, Love helped the Cavs win their first ring in franchise history in an epic 3-1 comeback against the Golden State Warriors in 2016. It is worth noting that Love struggled significantly through the playoffs. In 2015, he didn't play a single game after the first round because Kelly Olynyk dislocated his shoulder, and yes, he did do it on purpose. In 2016, he played decently up until the finals, where he averaged only 8.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and shot only 36.2% from the field. The next finals, Kevin Love did much better, averaging 16 points, 11 rebounds, but still didn't shoot great from the field, averaging 38.8%, leading to the Cavs losing in 5. After Kyrie left the Cavs, they still made it to the finals, where Kevin Love needed to step up big time, being the new number 2 option behind LeBron. He did a lot better, averaging 19 points, 11.3 rebounds, and shot 40% from the field, but the Cavs were swept. Since then, the Cavs have won only 19 games each season, but K-Love has only played 78 out of a possible 147 games, missing a lot of time. Love has been to the finals 4 times, and if we're keeping it real, he was the third option on those teams. But we shouldn't discard Love's effort because he was a really good third option behind LeBron and Kyrie. Love certainly helped that team be great, and if you take him out of the equation, who knows if they'd win in 2016. Love's success may be remembered with the Cavs, but to be honest, he should be remembered for his time in Minnesota. While with the team, Love set some remarkable records, including being one of only 19 players to record a 30-30 game, having the most consecutive double-doubles since the ABA and NBA merger. He was also the first player in NBA history to record 2,000 points, 900 rebounds, and 100 3-pointers in one season. Additionally, he's 28th in NBA history for rebounds per game and 74th all-time in NBA history for total rebounds. I'm willing to say that Love is one of the best big men in the last 10 years, as well as one of the best rebounders too. He is definitely a top 20 all-time power forward. I hope he's remembered for his time in Minnesota, but since all of his playoff success came in Cleveland, that is unlikely. Also, him touching on the sensitive subject of mental health is pretty big to me. It may not mean a lot to you, but being able to relate to some difficult struggles with an NBA player really shines hope in people, so you gotta respect it. In conclusion, Kevin Love is a very hard player to judge. He has a lot of things working for him, like all NBA appearances, NBA records, category leaders, and a ring. But due to various circumstances, we know that he didn't have much of an impact as star players typically do. I can see the arguments both ways of why he should or shouldn't make it to the Hall of Fame. But for the final verdict, I'd have to say yes, Kevin Love should make the Hall of Fame. Basketball Reference Hall of Fame probability puts his chances at 73.5%, but I think a better number for that would be about 85%. Of course, I'd love to hear your opinions on the topic, so let me know if you think Kevin Love should make the Hall of Fame or not, and why. If you made it this far, it would mean a lot if you could hit the like button or even subscribe. I've held y'all for long enough, so until next time, cheers.